Hello, welcome back to the channel. So I'm doing this live real quick on some Wendy Williams news that I came across. It seems like she has contracted the C-19 and it is causing her show to postpone its premiere. So I'm about to read the article from US Today and see what's going on. Okay, so it says Wendy Williams reveals she has C-19 breakthrough infection delays talk shows return. The Wendy Williams show season premiere has been delayed at least 2 weeks after Wendy Williams, who was vaccinated, tested positive for C-19. While continuing her health evaluation, Wendy has tested positive for a breakthrough case of C-19. The show announced in a Wednesday's Instagram post to allow Wendy Williams time to quarantine and fully recover. We expect to begin the third season of the Wendy Williams show to begin on Monday, October 4th. The announcement comes 5 days after the show posted that Wendy Williams, 57, was experiencing ongoing health issues and would not be able to complete her promotional activities. So they're saying that she was sick before the C-19. She has some type of new or specific case, so-called, of the C-19. And it also says, despite the low changes of getting the virus while vaccinated, studies from the Center of Disease Control and Prevention have shown the effectiveness of the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines declined in New York, where Williams lives, when Delta variant became more common. The 13th season was expected to return September 20th. Instead, reruns of previous seasons will air until Williams' return. So apparently she has a new variant, a new Delta variant. And I don't get why. Now, this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't care how nobody feel, but I'm going to state what I feel. I don't get why people are running out to get shot up with something that y'all don't even have a guarantee will work for it. Obviously, it ain't working, seeing as though people are still getting it right after getting vaccinated. But somebody like me, whom has never been vaccinated with that C-19 vaccination, nor did I stay in the house all summer. I was at amusement parks and everything. Me and my low immune system, due to my respiratory disease that I already had before this COVID hit. And I have never contracted that virus. But okay, back to this article. The pandemic does not affect how we do our show. When I get out there and there's no audience and there's no co-host, it doesn't matter, Williams told USA Today last September, adding, the fans can expect the same Wendy, same giggle, same show in May 2020, Williams paused her at home. What? In May 2020, Williams paused her at-home broadcast after experiencing fatigue stemming from her previously diagnosed Graves' disease, a condition which leads to the overproduction of thyroid hormones and can cause wide-ranging symptoms and affect overall health. So she got it bad. Because that Graves' disease by itself is something different to have to deal with. I hope she get better soon and she can return to her show and finish being messy how she be. But we about to move on to some more news. We about to move on to some YouTube news. So one of my favorite channels, Come Get This Commentary, is doing a video right now on Brother Polight. So I'm about to tap in to her live and see what she got going on. Let me see. Hold on right quick so I can pull it up. Okay. Now my live should be better because I have my AT&T modem box switched out today, so I shouldn't be having no skipping, no nothing. But we about to get into this Brother Polight video real quick, because I a men are seriously running around trying to defend his damn behavior.
The other wives or other women could possibly be getting ready to come forward on him? Or do you think he had them scared? I tell mine to tell me first, because daddy will kill. As he should. Adults don't have secrets with children, big kids, little kids, adults. Little kids, adults. None needs, needs to see anyone's anything. Right. I wish I could hug you all. I know that's right. It's a big group hug. Who needs under 17? Just show them to post anything. Yeah. Yeah, all my kids, they talkative. When they anything they say it. And I'm glad that they are talkative. You know, I would like to think all has been well, but alleged wives are victims too. Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. So I felt a way about the mother of the girl who was going through it, right? Because I felt that the night that it happened, and I'm being honest about how I felt, because on one hand I have a change of heart in some way, but the night that it happened, I guess because I there's just no clarification to me, and maybe because I'm so on to my kid like that, I can't wrap my head around it. When she sent the daughter to dinner to meet with the others, and then she never made it there, and then she left. For me, he didn't take her there. He obviously just left. How long? Going from the hotel to downstairs where you were supposed to meet people, to him walking to the car, taking her to a club that was closed, taking her to another hotel. Did she not pick up the phone and say, hey, y'all are not down there eating dinner? To me, that's minutes versus enough time to have made all these pit stops and then assault her. I'm a times person. I'm timely. When you're not gonna go downstairs without eat, it was what 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. That's just where I have a problem. This isn't to be argumentative, but I feel like you know what I'm saying. It was like you said. You just let her go down there to eat, and and if you feel me, okay. But if you don't, give me some clarity. You said she went down there to meet the others to eat. Well, when the others didn't see her and you called, it is confusing. He had enough time to assault her. That's not minutes. I mean, realistically, he could have just touched her with his fingers. Okay. But that's not what happened. He assaulted her. When did you say, I don't know, that part, I'm iffy on it. I'll say I'm a little softer on her perhaps, but I said in my video, I still feel she needs some accountability, and I don't want to backtrack on what I said, but I do. I feel like, hey, Coco, you see that you ran stop signs. You went to you know what I'm saying? From the hotel down to eat. She never made it to eat. Y'all drove to the club. The club was closed. Like, why was she going to an after hours? But okay, you left from the club. You checked into a whole nother hotel. Now, she did say she called him. She did. Hey, where's my kid at? But how long in between that first call? You mean to tell me you was just blowing his phone up and he was ignoring your call? Now that's some shit. You blowing his phone up and he just ignored you? It's a little confusing on some of it. And I feel like so many times parents aren't always being held accountable as well when certain things happen, when you get to actually look at the layout of how things went down. And I'm not talking about the mother and father traditional home, mom and dad is asleep, the kids are asleep, everything is well, but the father gets up to go to the bathroom, but goes and molests his daughter, none knows why. I'm not talking about those scenarios. I'm talking about you went down. She went down to go eat. She didn't eat because y'all left and went to a club. And then you left and checked into a hotel. That's all I'm asking. And it ain't, they ain't telling us, they ain't got to give us a time frame, but I'm on my kid like that. Where's y'all? Did y'all get down there and eat yet? Call me when you get down there, FaceTime, whatever. Don't mess with my babies. I'm just glad she was texting me yes. Absolutely. I don't get why the mom was comfortable with her child go with the grown man. Oh yeah, that's a little confusing to me too. I get it that your boyfriend, but why would my boyfriend want to take my daughter? My boyfriend would want my kids to sleep because that's not your husband.
I'm not gonna even laugh. Boyfriend, I got sons, and I don't let niggas take my sons no motherfucking where. They don't even get to interact with my motherfucking kid.
I don't want my kid to sleep. She's in the bed. Why would she be up? Even if we on vacation, then we up because we can sleep. And hypothetically, let's just say we on a cruise. That's 24 hours. Well, the kids ain't sleep. Let's get up and go get something to eat. I get that. Here we come. I don't know. I got a lot of questions. No, absolutely. That doesn't negate away from him being what he did. No, it doesn't. I just was trying to understand the time frame of how she got assaulted. He is a dog. He is a pervert. I need him to go to jail like his people, his master. is doing Supermax if he's in fact guilty. You know, yeah, definitely. It does not take away from what he did. It's just a lot of questions. Yeah. That's right, dudes. The blink of an eye. Yeah, no, her mother, you know, she was worried, she was sad, she wasn't happy, you know. You were just wondering, you know, it is a fair question. I don't think I'm asking an unreasonable question as to that time frame. You know, we talking about Michael Nowak, who goes by Brother Polite. This might come off as rude. But ladies, please stop feeling super comfortable allowing random people, assist me tomorrow, your kids, vet these men out, vet these women out. You gotta vet them all. That's right. All this evil, hatred, ungrateful, unhealed love that shows up is God's control. Not people, please pay attention. For sure. Hey, Queen of Paradise. I'll be the cat lady before I let trash room. My kids know how fast I drive. Yes. You're right. Never need to apologize about taking your kids or children. Right. Love the butterfly. Thank you. You would have a special. See, spaghetti. Woo! I'm not about to play with y'all with the spaghetti, but you ain't heard it from me. But a little eyedropper full of antifreeze and Kool-Aid is tasteless, but that's neither here nor there. And it gives out flu-like symptoms over a year, but whatever. Okay. Finally. Yes, I'm overprotective of my voice because my experience is yes. As you should be, you know. There's nothing wrong with being overprotective. And also, there's nothing wrong with, you should be able to trust who you love, right? It sucks to be like, oh, well, I'm in love and I got a husband or I have a wife, because women are predators too. I'm in love and I can't even leave my child at home with my fiance while I run to the supermarket. You know, that's a fucked up shit too. You know what I'm saying? I can't leave Mikey. We're a whole family unit. We live together, but I can't be at peace, you know, because I'm worried. It's a double-edged sword, you know. I relaxed a bit. I was more helicopter in my first one. The said, sir, that's what the table side, so he can't take the purse. Okay. The ID channel, girl. The ID channel, okay? I know how to not leave evidence. Okay. I'm still vigilant. Okay. Yeah. Well, y'all, this was a good chat. I really came on here to discuss Polite, his charges. Those videos will be linked in the description. They are honestly worth a watch if you can. I've put in the box. It is a 3-hour video about his leader that he followed. I watched it all, but the video that I showed you of him like antagonizing, good video. Charges are going to be linked. You can look it over. And I will not have y'all up all night because tomorrow is Sunday and we are going to discuss the things on my community tab because I have a lot to say, but I'm not going to say it tonight. I am going to get myself.
Okay, so we came in on the butt end of the video. I'm going to rewind it back some so we can listen to some in the beginning. And we definitely going to be here tomorrow.
tomorrow, yes, affiliate link will be in the description box. Please get you a pair of whatever pair that you like and save a couple of dollars. Okay, I am definitely now. These are not the Zuel, which I do have some. I have to do a review on them. They sent me some to review. But these that you see on are the Vogue Muse. Okay? So affiliate link will be there. But let's get to this because it's late. And I want us to talk about Brother Polite. Okay? If you have not heard about Brother Polite, he is the man, his name is Michael Nowak. He is all over the internet for being this woke. And I don't do the woke community like that, so I never knew of everything he did, but, you know, I've heard of him, seen him, because he was, you know, doing this poly thing and carrying on. But what I came across, my good friend showed me, was that he actually is in favor of and supports a child molester.
Oh no.
Okay, and I wasn't aware.
We don't do that.
I did put up the warning video. It's talking about child molestation and assault is triggering. I would advise not to be on this live because we are going to talk about his crimes. But I didn't know that he was a follower. He supported a doctor, or I'm sorry, Mr. York, Dwight York, okay? This man is serving 145 years in prison, okay? I gotta find his picture too. I didn't have his picture up. But he was charged.
But when it comes to this community, most of them is looking up to pedophiles. I mean, even Mohammed was an alleged pedophile.
With targeting the African American community.
And that's it with the gas.
All of these children, 74.
It's sad when men feel like they have to go for younger kids, teenage girls type shit. Why you can't go for somebody your age? Why you can't find a woman your age? Is it because women your age ain't gonna allow you to run all over them like a child would? You cannot mold an already adult the way to mold a child.
74 counts included racketeering, transporting minors across state lines for immoral purposes. For immoral purposes of his own. It was a lot to take in learning about him, and because I'm like, who is this man? It says that he was arrested May 2002. In 2004, he was convicted, and it says your case was reported as the largest prosecution for child molestation ever directed at a single person in the history of the United States, both in terms of victims and incidents. When I say unheard of, my mouth literally fell open. Now, what was more disturbing was him interrogating a young man in this interview that I found out was from 2010. Okay? He basically interrogated the young man and made him.
I remember that interview. I saw that interview on Young Pharaoh Dusty Ass channel. It was Brother Polite in a park sitting on a bench next to another young man who was telling his story about one of the other guys that was involved with or whatever that was so-called, well, that was, well, is, damn it, he convicted. So ain't no alleged, a pedophile. I don't know what's wrong with these grown niggas always lusting after these fucking kids, weirdos.
Still away. Hey, you guys, yes, he is in Supermax. I didn't know they put him, as they say, under the jail. This young man here actually tells us he's trying to explain what happened to him, okay, to give us some insight on what happened to him. Let's listen to this part.
Parent, that this isn't right. I've been touched sexually, I've been sexually abused. Not one child out of all these children. It could have stopped so long ago, just one child or just one adult. What caused all of this to come out first?
Let's stop right there. The victim blaming. If just one child had said something. The fuck you mean? If one child had said something. Welcome everybody in the chat. I do apologize if I have not spoken to you. I see you and I welcome you. And if this isn't the chat for you, the show for you, I understand. Catch me tomorrow because it will be, it would be, okay. This young man stood his ground, but you could see that he was visibly hurting. While he's up there saying, this could have stopped if one kid had spoke up.
First, you had nothing from nobody. You had nothing from nobody. Then you had something from everybody.
The guy in the black is Michael Nowak, who goes by Brother Polite. And this is one of the victims of Dwight York, explaining what happened.
All at the same time. They might not have been the medium to talk to anybody about the situation. Not even their parents. I mean, that's why, of course. I could have told my mother. We chose not to. I mean, it's not that I chose not to. To really take a lot. But I mean, you're not yourself when you're not, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got steam. You know what I'm saying? You got no. You know what I'm saying? You can't even think like. My mother she found out from my sister and she came to me and asked me about it. And I still was saying this up. I had to say, well, I had something with the girl and he was there. And that was my way of telling her that, yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is.
And yes, I did make a disclaimer. If this is too triggering, you guys, please catch me tomorrow, okay? And I much respect and I understand. This man is interrogating this young man. He's not being compassionate. He's not really listening. He's on the defense that his master, is what I will call him, was convicted.
Most native or random person that's saying, oh, this happened. I mean, this stuff, like, I was 7 years old. You know, I was upstate New York.
Janae, thank you for stopping through. I will see you tomorrow. Sending you some love.
Touch me with it. You know, and this stuff, like, I was 7 years old. You know, I was upstate New York.
He was 7 years old. What 7-year-olds really have this conversation when you're being threatened that something's going to come, harm's going to come to your family, to him? Isn't that how molesters get children to be quiet?
You know, when there's, touch me with it, you know, and so from 7 to 14, 7 years that I went through this, you know what I'm saying? That's possible. You say there's been over 20 children arrested, not for you. I would say so. Now, I would say that it was, from, if I can confirm people that I strongly confirm, it would be about 15 or 20 people. Obviously, over 15 to 20 children were being molested. They have to now say.
Jukes, I see you in the comments, and I appreciate you. And I think if you feel this is helpful to deal with your trauma, then I really appreciate you being here, but I don't want anyone to feel any kind of way. But I think this needs to be talked about for those that can handle it, because so many people support him. Like, I never supported him, but I never knew of this interview. I never knew how he basically disrespected him through the interview, and he is a victim from 7 to 14. I didn't know he did that and that he was in support. My girl Richard sent me a few videos to watch.
How come the adults wasn't saying up the shit? They be locked up with Dr. Yo too. How come they're free to testify about it? You understand? The adults are separated from their children. You know, so you had the girls in one house, the boys in one house, the women in one place, the brothers in one place. You know, everybody was separated, so it wasn't no house of family, and then you could.
Did you hear what he said? They were all separated. Okay, dudes. And yes, a lot of it is swept under the rug, told to be quiet. And he's worried about why the parents not in jail versus
Recognize when the child is gone. You need to tell the world that these children had enough sense in their mind to go tell their parent that this isn't right.
Did you hear what he said? You mean to tell me none of these children had enough sense to go tell anyone? Hey, everybody in the chat, I see you. Hello. Thank you for coming through. I know this is a rough one right here, but I do appreciate you being here. He said they didn't have the sense enough. That's the audacity for me.
Only weirdos talk like that.
They're embarrassed. They're humiliated. There were people who were commenting, all right, Miss Abby, I appreciate you. There were people, yes, that's his leader. They thought this man that they figured him as a god. He's definitely interrogating him. It was sickening to watch. Like I said, I had not seen this interview and have not saw it.
I've been sexually abused. Not one child out of all these children. It's not so long ago, just one child or just one adult. What would cause all of this to come out? First, you hear nothing from nobody. You hear nothing from nobody. Then you hear something from everybody, all at the same time. They might not have been a medium to talk to anybody about the situation. Not even their parents. I mean, that's how it was.
Yes, Jackson.
I mean, not that I told him. To really explain it was really take a lot. I mean, you're not really yourself. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got steam. You know what I'm saying? You got go. You know what I'm saying? You can't even face like, my mother she found out from my sister and she came to me and asked me about it. And I still was saying this up. I had to say, well, I had sex with the girl and he was there. And that was my way of telling her that, yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? That's the initial conversation.
So we're not going to play the whole video. It'll be linked in the description box. But what I found interesting was he basically got on his Instagram. I beat those other 2 charges. Y'all talked all that stuff. Didn't tell anyone till you were in your 20s. And he said, why couldn't they talk? You mean to tell me they didn't have the sense? That's right. Articulated. And then you said they still didn't believe you. Got on his Instagram bragging as if.
Yeah, 2 charges was dropped. But what he left off was, it was 2 new charges added. So I think it was the assault and I think it was the 2 felonies that was dropped, but it was also 2 different charges added, allegedly.
He's winning this fight. when I looked at his charges, you know, they dropped 2 and then they left these at the top here where my mouse is. And we're going to go over what they are because it's important that we understand the terminology. I didn't understand the terminology because I think the people that support him don't understand the terminology either. And that's where it comes into a problem with standing by and keeping a closed mouth. Standing in solidarity because you're either too shocked to think he did it, or you don't want to be the one that was known to turn your back on him. Maybe it's money, fame, I'm not sure. It's money, it's fame, I'm not sure, but people.
It's that they all got the same way of thinking. That's why they standing by him. To me, allegedly, all of them like, get the fuck. You can't motherfucking stand by and defend no shit without looking guilty yourself. You know they say birds of a feather flock together.
Are really supporting him. L&L, molestation child, 12 to 16 years old. Let's go here and let's look. Exactly. Some just don't care. And that's a tough pill to swallow, to know that you just don't care. L&L is lewd and lascivious, battery. This is a Florida case, Miami-Dade, punishable by up to 15. Is having sex with someone 12 to 15, encouraging, forcing, enticing a person less than 16 to engage in sadomasochistic abuse, sexual bestiality, prostitution.
Bestiality, that got to do with animals.
Involving sexual activity. And yet at the same time,
wait, hold on,
like,
hold the fuck up.
They dropped 2 charges and gave me 4 others.
No, hold the fuck up. We gotta pause. Bestiality got to do with animals. Where the fuck that coming? Where that come from? Yeah, I'm gonna hear her repeat that again.
L&L is lewd and lascivious battery. Now, this is a Florida case, Miami-Dade, punishable by up to 15. Is having sex with someone 12 to 15, encouraging, forcing, enticing a person less than 16 to engage in sadomasochistic abuse, sexual bestiality, prostitution, or any other act involving sexual activity. And yet at the same time...
Oh, okay. That's part of what the charges fall under. I was finna say, what the hell?
The charges that you left with are sickening and disgusting. It makes my stomach turn actually reading through them. But you need to read them so that when you go to say, oh, you know, it's okay. And then they're referring to this girl as a woman. She's not a woman. She is a girl. The next charge.
Matter of fact, the girl is my son's age. She's a child to me.
It's the same one. The one under it is L&L conduct child 16. Okay? Let's go here and see what that is. So we scroll down to the one for conduct. So it says it is a person who intentionally touches a person under 16 in a lewd or lascivious manner solicits a person under 16 of age to commit a lewd or lascivious act. Commit lewd or lascivious act. So you went around here touching people. These charges are not better. I didn't look at these charges and say, oh yeah, this is less charges. Okay, everybody in the chat.
Okay, so the charges that was dropped were felonies, but I think these charges that are read are also felonies. So, sir, you ain't beating anything. You got 2 felonies dropped. You got 2 fucking felonies added. You ain't winning nothing.
Now he has 2 counts of the LNL molestation of a child. Now this last one is exhibition right here. It says this charge is anyone who intentionally masturbates, intentionally exposes genitals in a lewd or lascivious manner, intentionally commits any other sexual assault that does not actually involve physical sexual assault, sexual contact with the victim, including but not limited to sadistic abuse, sexual bestiality, or simulation of any sexual act. Why is Brother Polite acting as if the 4 charges he left with
Oh wait, yeah, that's 3 new charges.
are better than the ones he had before?
Because when I looked at the case, he had sexual assault of minor, he had contributing to a minor, and he had what was that other one? Something that also had to do with battery of a minor. So he had 3 charges at first. So they removed 3 and re-added 3. I'm debating on if I released what I saw, what I was able to get hold of.
If I'm wrong.
But I don't dox people, so most likely I won't be releasing nothing.
A little less, you can get more time. Something to that effect. Going back to the comments, the beast lived in our home. I was not able to deal with it all until I was 30. And he was finally 6 feet under. I never told anyone until then. I calmed my way through life, pretended all was good. Wow. I told on the day my molester died. So many people they're relating to this. And this is a conversation that we don't want to have. Because, of course, drama and gossip, that's all fun. But it's a time and a place. And today I really wanted to come here, even if the crowd is small. I wanted to do my part to still bring awareness to these charges that Michael Nowak, known as Brother Polite, has. These are not just a pound of hand. Looking for charges setting away with them in Florida, they have those for the most serious. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't sure. Some people say the 2 that got dropped were serious, but the 4 added, I guess, gave more time or whatever. Florida law. Okay. I'm 60 now. Hold on. Your comment went back. I'm 16. I'm talking and learn. I wasn't alone. You gotta say that you're not alone in the heal. To me, the healing always. The healing keeps going. They usually charge you with the highest they can, and then you plead down. I think the beginning charges was for the investigation to obtain DNA warrant. Okay. Yep. Okay. I know and I'm gonna speak for now I'm not speaking for the Black community, but growing up, when I saw people in the Black community, children being molested, it was always, always, always hushed under the rug. No one ever could talk about it. Uncle or aunt or whoever did it, they would call them a little touched, and you just don't go over there, don't hang out at their house no more. It was always brushed under the rug, and the children or child was made to still, hey Shay, was still made to be around them on holidays. They still had to learn to face their abuser while being humiliated because of it happened, but people not believing them, and or even if they believe it, we just keep it in the family. Don't go telling people our business, what go on here. And then when either that child explodes and kill everybody, kill themselves, now we are, well, what happened? We didn't know. Or when they kill their molester, attack their molester. I can't even understand.
I had to pause it for a minute and say this because back in the day, and it's still kind of a loophole today, a way for the man to get away with assaulting a child was he married that child. That's a law in some of these states that a motherfucker can marry the child that they molested.
Exactly, it's damaging. Journey with T, welcome. Jackson Julian. People, if I have not spoke to you, don't take it personally. I'm really just trying to get the conversation going through here, because this is a heavy topic, and a lot of people gonna be in the chat talking. I feel like I'm just ignoring you, okay? But it's damaging. And this woman here in the chat, if I could just hug her, she said she's 60 and still. But yeah, you got polite talking about his Royal Chronicles, whatever the fuck kind of car he drives. Okay. We had a babysitter that tried it. I told my mom immediately, don't know what happened, but I never saw the person again. That kind of energy. There are people that will still send their child to that babysitter. Because the molester would be like, oh, they were sleeping. I was just straight. She almost fell off the bed and I was picking her up. And if you grab them by the waist, to keep it in the family is a direct disregard of the child. And also for the upholding of the family structure. Don't want nobody want their girl to show. It really just, when I look down my timeline reading the people that come in your comments, talking, like somebody was in my comments on the last video in the polite, what you got to say about him, his charges being dropped. And at the time, I didn't see it. And when I went, I said, well, so what? He still has 4 left. And Marie says, my predator started on me as an infant, and it was someone close to me that told me, wow, I've been molested through my teens and still struggling. When I say I'm uplifting everyone in the comments with a story, those who haven't spoke about the story, those that are in a silent battle, know that my words are my words, but it's really no words when you don't have people that will listen and trust you and take you at your word. Some were shunned, some embraced my courage. It's something you got to be prepared for. Exactly. Sending love and light to everyone is something we deal with daily. Absolutely. It follows you. Also, it's in here in the paperwork, they had to put in a stay-away order. Why would it even need to be a stay-away order? Which I understand that it goes with the case, but most, you just know to stay away. It's been said in some other videos that he was harassing, and in the court that he was online harassing this girl. Redefine her. I've been through a lot of trauma currently in therapy, or they call us like,
That's what his little response, but not response videos be about. It be to harass her without openly harassing her.
It's a lot of truth happening in his chat. He kept in contact with the victim. And they had to put a standard order. I mean, when I say outdone, someone commented, I do not remember their name. He said he got himself box in the box. I believe that, and I don't think he's going to get out. 39, I had a complete mental breakdown after being an overachiever, trying to be more than a molested little girl. Hey, girl, LaWanda, sending you so much love and light. The problem is that when some of the people who rejected are doing it because they don't want to reevaluate their lives and the possible allowance of abuse, hurt people who haven't healed. It happened to my spouse from 3 to 14 years on father, stepmother. Some people are trash. He's very protective over our kids. It took 3 years together of 5 to get his voice out. Here we go. We don't do or can't afford therapy. When I got hold of insurance through my job, and I found out therapy was covered, and off of alcohol. Thank you, Lynn. Cindy, you love and light, Lynn. I didn't understand how much insurance costs to go see a therapy. My copay was $20, but they told me without my insurance, it was almost $200 for 30 minutes. Hey, Queen of Harlem. And there are free resources and sliding scales. And sometimes the free services, if you can get an appointment, if you can even afford the sliding scale, can you get to it with transportation? When I was 12, my sister's guy friend tried to molest me when I went back home. I told my mom. She confronted my sis, and she said I shouldn't have been seducing him. I didn't understand at 12. This is why this conversation is needed. If we don't blame the victims, they will come forward. Wow. So sorry that this is happening. No, you're not late. We talking about Michael Nowak, known as Brother Polite. Hey, Queen of Harlem. You are not alone. It was not your fault, but I can tell you, after I told I had a breakdown and finally got therapy, it gets better. It is hard to learn that there are so many people who have been abused. You're valuable. You can and will overcome. It isn't your fault. I'm in therapy now. It can be hard to find a fit for processing childhood trauma, but I keep persevering. I deserve healing. That's right. And say that again. Everyone deserves healing. Therapy is a luxury and it should be thank you. It's expensive. I didn't know it until I actually needed to go into therapy myself, and I was paying out of pocket for it. And then when I looked at my insurance, I said, oh, my insurance had a copay all this time. But I needed it, and I got it. Taking self-defense, be empowering. No, I don't think that's silly. I don't think it's silly. I've considered it, especially after becoming a caregiver to my mother. But I just can see putting my business out there like that. Are you talking about putting your business out there, Miss Bad Girl? Sometimes therapy can make it worse when your child is made to feel. Hey, Benz, welcome. Hold on. Sometimes therapy, yes. Okay, let me talk to you. I have heard that, and it's embarrassing. It's just people, you already feel shamed and humiliated. Now you're gonna go to therapy and tell them all your business. Like Joe said, he don't even trust therapy. It's very hard when we took. I'll speak for me. Therapy was hard for me to go to because I didn't see it. Okay, I didn't see therapy being done, and I was always told what happens in the house stay in the house. So I didn't trust therapy because I thought they would put my business out on the street. And I didn't believe in therapy because I didn't think it would work. Then when something traumatic happened to me, I said, I got to go to therapy, and I didn't have an option not to go. I went to therapy. And it made a hell of a difference. However, it's different for each person. You know, I definitely advise you go, but I feel it's a person. You know, I don't sit up here and judge anyone who doesn't go or doesn't want to go. I think, you know, you have to do what you need to do, but I definitely would say at least give it a try once if you can. It got worse at me at home, and the beatings would be twice as worse. Joe, whew. I'm asking y'all. Thank you, those that's here. For everybody that's here and chatting, just commenting, being encouraging and talking.
See, I was assaulted at 15. I sent my assaulters to jail though. But dealing with that afterwards, I was closed off for like a year. I never went back outside after that. I didn't want to go back to school. I didn't want to do nothing. I just wanted to stay in the house. But it took for my uncle, girlfriend at the time, for her and her sister to get me out the house and see that not everywhere I go outside of this house will be a dangerous situation for me. But I felt some type of way, and then over the years, it shifted into anger, and past anger, it shifted into distrust more, like to the point where I don't even like to be hugged, really. I don't want to be touched unless I want to be touched. That's one of the side effects of me being assaulted. I don't like to be touched, and it can make me very aggressive if somebody touched me without my permission.
I see you. Journaling was my therapy, yes, when I couldn't afford it. Absolutely. I love a good journaling. Don't ever let anyone tell you about you survivors. Yes. And now you've got this little girl here, this young girl, all over the internet. You know, you've got people that are going to watch this trial because you have the aftermath. I'm told that when you deal with molestation, trying to date, find love, either or for a man or a woman, makes it harder. I stopped going to therapy when she started sounding like my trauma trigger. But you have to be open and starting over. Absolutely. Therapy has been life-changing. Not enough counselors in school. Keep tapping stuff. I learned that therapy wasn't just for white people. Come on, T, speak on that. Because that's what I was taught. That's what the white people do. We don't go to therapy. Literally, that's what I was taught. That therapy is for white people. So I never took it. I was like, well, black people don't go to therapy. I grew up. That is an honest statement for me. It's really hard to have victims feel safe to express and not repeat to different people. It's very specific with not having a female therapist for answers because they should be able to convey triggers. So I'm just to internalize. I'm just going back reading the comments. States are working around their mental services. Yes, and people who get Medicaid well, if up here in Michigan, they allotted so many hours a month or the fiscal year, it was like 30 hours or something for free. To anyone who has suffered or is suffering any abuse, please know you are not alone. We are here for you. Absolutely. I talk to a therapist now. Absolutely. And the black race is just something that we just don't do because it's fun. Yeah, I promise it's fun. Good night, Luana. Thank you for stopping by for a few minutes and just having a conversation with us. Anyone who knows about me, know all about mental health. Yes. Good night, Miss LaWanda. Yes, again, thank you for coming through. Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming through. But that's what I did. I wanted to talk about. I love the dialogue going on in the chat, but it was really, I love my therapist too, Risha. My therapist came through, and I am just, every dollar I pay my therapist, I feel like it was well deserved. It's going to be interesting to sit back and watch people that support Brother Polite. I'm like, are you guys not reading what the charges he has? I mean, in that video of him antagonizing, basically harassing, because he yelled at the boy too. That was an eye-opener for me to really understand how much of a monster he is. Whether he's charged or not, that was monster behavior to do that to that victim. All because you're upset that your leader got almost 150 years and he is in a prison underground, which I didn't know it was underground solitary confinement. He's locked up 23 hours a day and come out for 1 hour. And all he could say was, why the kids didn't speak up. These videos on my therapy, that's why I make a point of watching them. Yes. His followers need to, yes, you know, and people, they get in the comments and try to argue you down about that man. When he hung down, when he beats the case, what the fuck you gonna do while he's going through the case? What about while he's going through the case? I couldn't stand the solidarity. I would be like, you know, I hate that you're going through this. You say you're innocent. However, I gotta take a step back. And you know, I gotta take a step back. I'm like, yes, we here for you. Yeah, he is in the leader, the leader that we talked about. He is in the Supermax. His God. Watch Flight, not in jail. I guess he made his bond because they did up it. His bond was $46K when it was all said and done. So I don't know if he went back or if he's out as of yet. Has he been posting on his social media the last 2-3 days? Because if he made bail, he got out. Which I didn't understand that either, but you know, it was good because it was without judgment. Yeah. I joined my therapist because no one knew what the situation. They didn't know what the situation was and or why. They never had any experience with that situation. So when I talked about it, it was just, this is my advice to you. This is how you can overcome. This is how you can be helped without, oh, well, such and such and such and such, because you got to remember such and such and such and such. So that's why I appreciated going to my therapist. I believe he shouldn't be out on bond either. When I was 16, boyfriend at the time assaulted me because I wanted a break from him. He made his friends watch. From that experience, whenever I want to break up with a guy, I never do it in person. I did report that to the police. Layla, I'm sorry. Yes, unbiased, neutral feedback. That's why I went to my therapist. I didn't want to go to anybody I was supposed to. Mhm. Yeah, we understood later your breakup. There needs to be more love created to protect our children. Yes. Yeah. At this point, I don't give a damn who knows about me. That's right. You are strong. You are here. You made it. Yes. Yeah, Supermax, I didn't know he was the leader that he supports was that far under the jail. Like, he's really under the jail. S. says my niece let her daughter know she can talk to her about anything and don't be scared to tell. That's why I hate to hear people say why they didn't come to me earlier, because they threaten their victims. Exactly. He actually got an attitude, like raised his voice at this young man. They don't take our claims of sexual abuse seriously. Nope. The judge told him not to post anything on social media. Right, duh. But why are you harassing the victim?
Cause he an idiot.
I need my phone to act right. I really.
And his ass need to be locked the fuck up right now. He shouldn't have never been released out on fucking bail.
So, based on what we see happening, going on with Michael Nowak, because he has multiple wives and their children. Do you think the other wives or other women could possibly be getting ready to come forward on him? Or do you think he has them scared? Right, I tell mine to tell me first, because daddy will kill. As he should. Adults don't have secrets with children. Big kids with adults. Little kids, adults. None needs. Hold on, it needs to see anyone's anything. Right. I wish I could hug you all. I know that's right. Just a big group hug. Who needs under 17? Yeah. Yeah, look, all my kids, they talk to them. When they anything they say it. And I'm glad that they are talkative. You know, I would like to think all has been well, but the alleged wives are victims too. Yeah, and I'll say this. So, I felt about the mother of the girl who was going through this, right? Because I felt that the night that it happened, and I'm being honest about how I felt, because on one hand I have a change heart some way, but the night that it happened, I guess because I there's just no clarification to me, and maybe because I'm so on to my kid like that, I can't like wrap my head around it. When she sent her daughter to go to dinner to meet with the others, and then she never made it there, and then she left. For me, he didn't take her there. He obviously just left. How long between going from the hotel to downstairs where you're supposed to meet people, to him walking to the car, taking her to a club that was closed, taking her to another hotel? Did she not pick up the phone and say, hey, y'all are not down there eating dinner? To me, that's minutes versus enough time to have made all these pit stops and then assault her. I'm a times person. I'm tiny. One, you're not going to go downstairs without me to eat. It was, 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. That's just where I have a problem. This isn't to be argumentative, but I feel like you know what I'm saying. It was like you said. You just let her go down there to eat, and and if you feel me, okay. But if you don't, give me some clarity. You said she went down there to meet the others to eat. Well, when the others didn't see her, and you called, he was. It is confusing. He had enough time to assault her. That's not minutes. I mean, realistically, he could have just touched her with his fingers. Okay, but that's not what happened. He assaulted her. When did you say? I don't know. That part, if you're on it, I'll say I'm a little softer on her, perhaps. But I said in my video, I still feel she needs some accountability. And I don't want to backtrack on what I said, but I do. I feel like, hey, Coco, you see that you ran stop signs. You went to you know what I'm saying? From the hotel down to eat. She never made it to eat. Y'all drove to the club. The club was closed. Like, why was she going to it after hours? But okay, you left from the club. You checked into a whole nother hotel. Now, she did say she called him. She did. Hey, where's my kid at? But how long in between that first call? And you mean to tell me you was just blowing his phone up and was ignoring your call? Now, that's some shit. You blowing his phone up and he just ignoring you? It's a little confusing on some of it. And
if this is true about the mother, that do sound real iffy on her half, because why would you allow your child to walk out the door with that man without you walking out the door at the same time with them? Like I said, I got sons, and I don't let my sons go nowhere with nobody without me. Period. Nor do men interact with my kids. They say hi and bye. That's it. Ask them how their day was. Other than that, ain't no interaction. I don't allow people around my kids like that unless we are in a steady relationship. I trust you, and a person like me who has been through what I've been through in life, I don't really trust nobody for it. It is what it is. Not even my own mama. That's just how I'm set up at this moment. But I think we have come to the end of the video where we entered in in the beginning of the video. So this is the video that she put up on the information that she had from the young Pharaoh. Oh, I'm about to start getting my news mixed up. From the Polite case. So I'm done with this nigga. I'm done listening about him. I may report on it again for an update, but damn it, I'm tired of his little funny looking ass, period. I'm tired of the niggas that's supporting too. And I'll catch you again on the next video. Thanks for coming by, Miss QP. I always appreciate your conversation. And I'll catch you again later. Have a good night.